Okay, so today's the day that I'm reviewing the new Bones and Catsuit project, and that project is called Augmented. Now, these guys are two members of the same label, and that label is one that Bones had established years ago, called Sesh. I have been a supporter of Bones for the past 2.5 years, and within the last year, coming into contact with some of the people that he has done his production with, and some of the people that have been putting out music on the label. All the producers are some of the most unique in the business, and they make a sound that is all their own. And personally, this is Bones' best project to date in my eyes, because it showcases what he can do when he sits down with just one of his producers instead of a couple people that he knows or some people that he chooses to support when he's making an album or a mixtape. And although the songs on here are somewhat short, that is a trend typical in the underground scene nowadays. There aren't that many people that choose to make extremely long songs because they want to make a message, and then that is the extent of the message that they want to give, whether it's them being lyrically superior or that their status is questioned and they take the person that's questioning their status down a peg. Or in Bones' case, he sees so many people taking the style that he started off with, ethereal beats and layered vocals, or trying to bridge yourself into sounding like you can sing, rap, or in certain cases scream like you're on a metal song. He originated with more than half of those things, and not to say that he was the flagship member of this, he just took different elements of different genres and formed them into his own. That is the true alternative style that many people claim to have in the hip-hop game now. Fresh off of a Russian tour and European tour outside of that, this man came back home to let everyone know, nope, these guys are not sitting in my throne. I'm coming back to overthrow whoever claims to be in this throne. Whether it be people that are from the hills, people that think they're hard but they're not, or it's a multitude of people that Bones sees as fakes and phonies in the underground rap scene. And that's one of the things that makes him so unique as an artist, is that although he may say all these things that he is lyrically superior and he does see himself as being the king of the underground, he is a very mysterious artist. But one thing is definitely for sure: if you put him against some of your favorite underground artists or people that claim to be underground, he will definitely put them in the dirt. He is the Lord of the Grave, as he said on a couple instances in his other projects. He is the self-proclaimed dead boy. Now, a couple artists are mere mysteries to their fans and other listeners that find them just riding along the road. Twisted Insane is one of those people. That man has literally no information out about him. But he definitely does have a family. There's no personal information on him out there. Bones, we know some personal information about him. Just recently, he started talking about the loss of his brother. And in the couple interviews that have surfaced online and on YouTube, he has talked about the impact that his music has had and the fact that his parents support him so much. One unique thing that I found out about his writing style is that he writes on sticky notes. I think that's pretty wild, because a lot of people either choose to write in their phone or stick to a notepad. He chooses sticky notes. That's pretty wild. I can barely grasp that concept. Writing a few things, I mean, my handwriting is horrible, so it makes sense that if someone with better handwriting would be able to do that and then structure it properly. It's almost like Eminem crafting his verses when he's writing everything on a piece of paper. He has a formula to it. That's pretty wild. Now, the songs on here, to take away the main messages that he's putting off, Pesticide is basically his coming back to the kingdom song. He's letting everyone know that he's coming back to take what is his, and that is the underground. Flawed Design is basically one of the things that he states as his graveyard persona. He is truly one of the most relatable underground artists that you could listen to. He may talk about being down in the dumps and put a couple sad songs out here and there, but with the things that he talks about, you know, you may be dealing with something, but you can definitely get past it. He does talk about things like that. He's even used some old movies in the beginnings of his songs to describe the feeling that he's trying to approach with it. And that is another thing that makes his music so unique and interesting. And another thing is that he always drives his fans. He always does. He thanks them for their support. He puts out all of his music for free. The only time that he has ever done anything outside of that is putting his music on Spotify. And even at that, people can still listen to the music for free. With many artists out here just throwing their stuff as a jumbled up mess into the populace as something that is barely even acceptable on a mixtape level. Designer did it when he first came out, and I think that's one of the things that made me think about the people that he's affiliated with even more. Now, Bones is affiliated with Xavier Wolf, Eddie Baker, Chris Travis. The list goes on with the people of the underground that he's affiliated with, but those three men are his closest comrades. They created the Sesh Hollow Water Boys, and that's basically the tour group that is together 99% of the time, because they all, as least as far as I can see, they have the same manager, Elliot O'Connor, and that dude is a strict family man, and he is all about the fans. He's all about the artists that he works with. And Bones and Elliot definitely have a lot of positive chemistry. I think that's why Sesh is definitely starting to take over the world. Now, Go On Without Me is one of the things that shows off Bones' garbage persona. Now, many people would listen to underground artists and be like, oh man, that's trash. He literally is garbage in that sense. But he's not. If you have an open mind and an understanding of lyrical content and a meaning to a song, then you will understand that he is not. But in the public eye, that's what's seen as garbage. The underground, when I was growing up, really wasn't filled with many not so talented rappers. There were a lot of people that I didn't know about and a lot of people that not many people know about. And then all of a sudden in the past few years they've been coming to light. That's because there's a lot more talent under the dirt than you think. And that's what Bones is trying to tell everybody. There's a lot of talent under the dirt. You just need to start digging. Incompatible is basically... oh man, I hate to say this because he's worked with a few people in the mainstream like Danny Brown and A$AP Rocky, and even Riff Raff. This man's worked with Riff Raff. That's pretty dope. But he's saying that he can't work with anyone. He can't work with anyone because he doesn't find any common ground with them. They don't meet the criteria that he has for an artist chemistry, so to speak. And lastly, one of the main singles that was pushed with the trailer of this album is Retina Scan. And one of the biggest lyrics that comes off of this song is 1 foot in the grave, 1 foot in the door. And that is basically saying that Bones is in the underground, but he is also in the mainstream with his foot in the door. For many years, people have been trying to get his attention to have him signed to a major record label, and he has always turned them down because he knows the corruption and the mishandling of talent that happens on a yearly, monthly, weekly basis with people that are signed on to major record labels. A lot of times when people get signed on to something, I hate to give the man props, but Macklemore definitely had a point when he was talking about Jimmy Iovine and the Interscope song Off the Heist. You know, the whole profit division that he had spoken of, it made sense because if you're independent and you're underground, you can set up what shows you want, you can make the merch, even better than most people because 9 times out of 10, major record label processed merch looks like garbage. And it looks like something to fit in with the populace rather than stand out. This is a very basic shirt. It's a simple color and the insignia for the label. I also have another shirt from one of the people represented on Sesh that is a producer. That is Grief. And I have worn that shirt before on Claws. Now, it's something that's different. It's supposed to stand out. Your merch is supposed to make a statement, and that's what Bones does. He makes a statement. And he's not going anywhere. He's been dead. He's just been brought out of the grave, and people have been resurrecting him. In certain senses, he is the musical Frankenstein's monster. We have just helped him come to life. With that being said, my name is Ethan, otherwise known as Two-Face. It has been a very large pleasure to listen to this project and finally have a chance to review a Bones project. I'm very happy to have this episode go up today. Now, to the people that don't know exactly what I do, this is the main reason why I started this show in the first place, to review underground hip-hop albums and mainstream the like. And personally, I hope many more projects from the underground come out soon. There wasn't anything that came out today on this Friday of April 27th, 2018. There was nothing that came out today. Not a single song, not a single album of relevance. And for the people that want to ask me my opinion on the new Post Malone album, it sucked. It didn't sound anything like Stoney. Not that I'm asking for a Stoney 2. You're allowed to evolve, but it wasn't that great. Sorry, Post. You got to do a little better. You can't try and fit in and stand out at the same time. You got to do one or the other. So, on that note, I'll see everybody on Monday when I review the new JLB Hood and Stevie Stone collaboration album, Contraband. Until then, I will see everybody on Monday. Enjoy your weekend and have a lovely time. Hopefully, if you guys go and see Infinity War, don't say anything. Peace.